Greetings, Raising Queens family. Blessing. In the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I the First, Holy Jarastafari. Yes. So today we are going to be speaking on the effects of labor that have taken place in the minds and the spirits and even the physical anguish of our mothers, and what we could do to maintain a level of prosperity, but not through our own eyes, something that would help them feel as if just because they've gone through this pain of labor or they've gone through this tumultuous childbirth, that life is not going to be getting worse. We want to say to them that not only will life get better, that it is our guarantee. So for centuries, we've had time to explore different experimental drugs and experimental medicines that could allow the woman to birth easier. But what on the mental anguish? Should she ever feel as if the husband was wrong? Did he make her feel inadequate without having a child? Does the pain of the labor, with the only very slight chance that the child will be a successful person in life, take away from her mental and spiritual will to live? We want to say that it should not, and that with every child that is born, the entire world gets better, and we all get closer to a greater foundation of life, to a greater realism of happiness and pleasure without so much slavery. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm the type of individual who would rather slave his entire life before I would ever bow down or lay down with some type of man. But it is the woman's natural way to be with someone that they may reproduce. So I can understand her, but at the same time, when I'm looking like empathetically and trying to stand in her shoes, I look at these men who deal with other men and I'm like, oh, this is the worst. I mean, it's nothing against the LGBTQ thing. I mean, I just like to stick to the L, so to speak. But either way, let's say we innovate with something a little bit more technologically focused on the future. Since 1978, we have been able to manufacture children in a small tube about this size. It starts off with the mixture of the egg and the semen are put together, and then the child grows, and we change, the size of the tube for the amount of months that we have been nurturing the child through intravenous. But I want you to reach out to someone that you know. Tell us, how is it easier for us to make this a standardized living? Not only in my life, not only in the Raising Queens lives, but in yours at home. I want to give you the option, to walk around to some of the more professional clinics or clinicians and doctors in your area and plead for a more affordable test tube experiment or test tube baby to be brought into the earth. Now, I'm going to tell you no lie. Since 1978, there is still a few people who were born and are in their earlier late 40s. But we want to make sure that it's not just about the test tube baby, because we know that can be done, even though it's very, very, it's very, very expensive. We want to take away from the mental anguish of everybody who may consider this option as being greater, and not only not lean on your financial. We want to show you how it might be easier for you to work together in order to make this thing happen for all of us. Now, it's like I said, with every new child, the women should be getting better. They should be feeling better. We've got skyscrapers, flying cars. We've got everything that you can think of. Let's try this. Can we get together, all of our Raising Queens family, and try to petition for a tampon that actually stores the egg so that you can put it in a small freezer and submit it to the fertility clinics so that it may be fertilized at any time that they have a male donor. A tampon that captures the egg that you would normally put into the uterus or in the vagina, and you will freeze that egg the moment that you have the sample, and you will put it into a freezing area until the fertility clinic schedules to come pick it up, or you can go take it in depending on how close you are to the clinic in your area. But let's concentrate on that so that you would not waste your egg. Some people say that modern medicine, it's too devilish, it's too experimental, it's not spiritual enough. But let's try not bleeding every 30 days and saving that egg. A tampon that saves your eggs so that you can put them into a test tube. And if for some won't want to do it by test tube, you could have them saved for in vitro fertilization, I think it is called. So let's go there. Raising Queens,